Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on the Great Reset. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about the Great Reset. We'll talk about XRP and crypto because blockchain is a big part of the Great Reset. So World Economic Forum calls for free speech concentration camps to jail First Amendment terrorists. You ever take notice when we try to wake people up to their evil plans, somehow we become terrorists. But aren't they the real terrorists? They want to enslave an entire planet and push for a new world order. Now, Klaus Schwab says his advice is to embrace change. Take a listen.
I think to embrace change, what we see now, and we will come back to it, this complex world and also now the new factor of the technological revolution, particularly artificial intelligence, people have difficult to understand. And what we see is a certain fear of the future. I think it's the first time in global history that people are so pessimistic about the future. Now, my advice would be embrace change. Change will be a constant factor of our lives. And those people who see change as an opportunity and not as a threat will succeed.
So he wants us to embrace the New World Order agenda that he's pushing. He's pushing for one world religion, one world government, one world citizen, which we're going to talk about in today's video. And he says people are fearing the future. Well, I wonder why. Every single week this guy comes out with some dark agenda and some big announcement where he wants to put chips in us and keep us happy while we own nothing. Of course people will be afraid of that. But you know, if you think he's evil, just imagine how evil the person is that is pulling his strings, because Klaus is just another puppet. So he says AI so predictive, elections will be a thing of the past. And that's exactly what they're pushing for. They don't want us, voting for world leaders. They want to install world leaders that will go along with their agenda. And I think it's already happening all around the world right now. Globalist Pope Francis absurdly claims EU is not facing a mass immigration emergency. If you look at what's going on in the EU, there is definitely an emergency situation happening. But they like to keep you calm during this. They like to make you think that it's part of the future, mass immigration. And it's no different here in the US either. And this is also part of the Great Reset. Biden makes border history with most immigrant encounters in August ever recorded. The immigration laws are now non-existent. And I see a much darker agenda around immigration happening and open borders happening. It starts with this right here. So divide and conquer. You are selling out our freedom and our sovereignty to elite overlords who want to erase our cultures and make us all global citizens, slaves of a one world government. They don't want us to be a citizen of the United States or a citizen of the UK. They want us to be global citizens of the future. Then they're also going to push this right here. Bill Gates declares everyone on Earth must prove their identity using his global digital identity system. And that global ID is far worse than a CBDC. That's something that can keep you from traveling, keep you from getting a job, keep you from getting health insurance or health care. It's something that could keep you off the internet in the future as well. Keep your voice quiet. And I don't like the idea of a digital ID at all. In fact, I think instead of Tom Emmer pushing for CBDC regulations and anti-CBDC regulations, he should be pushing for anti-digital ID regulations as well. Get laws put in place before people get hooked up to a digital ID. We are on the brink of a dramatic change. We are about to abandon the traditional system of money and replace it with a new one. Take a listen to this, but also take a listen to the wording she uses.
What underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in '71, and so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well. And the question is, will that new system of digital money and digital accounting accommodate the competing needs of the citizens of all these locations so that every human being has a chance to have a better life?
Take notice how they say it's going to be a better life, and take notice how many times she said the word digitally and digital. It's because she wants us to get pushed into a digital CBDC. And you take notice how she also says that it will give them greater clarity over transactions. It gives them clarity on the things that me and you are buying. It gives them control over those transactions, which will lead to control over me and you. But we are headed into that system. Yet when I tell people, you know, the fourth industrial revolution is happening right now, people still seem to not see it coming. Yet everything is going into digital, and we are headed into the digital age. Australian bank to eliminate cash and check services in 2024. But one thing I want to point out is right here. So they're talking about going cashless, but cash will still be available through ATMs for the time being. For the time being, meaning that you're going to have, cashless and cash at the same time until eventually cash is pushed out of the system. Then all you're going to be left with is digital money. The same thing is going to happen inside the United States. Anti-CBDC bill inches closer to approval with strong support from 60 Congress members. And like I said, this is a great direction that they're going in, but they need to also have an anti-digital ID law put in place, because I think a digital ID is far worse than just a CBDC. Then there's this, UBI. We can institute a livable UBI. So there's two petitions and one great cause. So you see, over 3 million have already signed on to this petition. $2,000 a month per person, $1,000 a month per kid. Thousands have already signed Ripple's create a livable basic income. Now that's not Ripple, not XRP either. So the benefits of UBI eradicates poverty, more easily handling emergencies, less anxious and depressed, catalyst for entrepreneurship and creativity, improve mental and physical health, reduction of homelessness, better education opportunities. Many jobs are ceasing to exist. People may follow their passions, decrease crime, savings go up, debt goes down, hospitalization rates decrease, increase self-employment 300%, expand and strengthen the economy. It sounds absolutely incredible, right? Well, first, your savings will not even happen because they're going to have programmable money. And that money's going to expire at the end of every month if you don't use it. Forget about saving money. They're never going to allow that in the future. And then you also got to look at, all right, great, people have money in their pocket. But what happens when you can't buy the things that you want to buy? You know, everybody wants everything for free. Well, free comes with a price. And people need to understand that. Before you know it, you're a slave to their system. If you start talking out against the government, they shut your money off. If you don't get the vax when they're pushing it, they shut your money off. This leads to a society that's controlled by the government, and people need to wake up before it's too late. And now you have people signing petitions. Like I said in the past, you know, if you're giving something away for free, people will line up for miles to get it. The 15-minute city, an urban concept in which all basic needs can be satisfied with a 15-minute walk or bike ride, is catching on in the U.S. as an indirect reaction to the pandemic. And 15-minute cities are coming to the United States, yet so many people are in denial about it. And I think New York and probably California are going to be the first two states to have 15-minute cities, because they're already pushing in that direction. They're pushing forward with the Great Reset agenda and climate change as well. But you know, like I always told you, either you wake up to this before it's too late, or you become a slave to this later. Oh no, do you seriously believe the Great Reset nonsense the World Economic Forum supposedly is organizing as per conspiracy theorists? It can't be a conspiracy theory once they're out there talking openly exactly what their agenda is. And then if you look around the world and you see exactly what the Great Reset means and their whole agenda is laid out there for you, you could see it coming about day after day all throughout the world right now. A popular conspiracy theory claims that a new financial system, often called the quantum financial system, is about to replace the world's banks and currencies. Believers take out massive loans they cannot pay back because they think their debt will be erased by the new system within a few months or years. Now, I'm never going to tell somebody go out and take out massive loans, but the new financial system is definitely coming. Anybody that's invested in crypto can already see it happening all throughout the world. Look at Ripple partnering up with all the banks. Other companies like crypto companies like Stellar doing the same thing, creating on-off ramps all around the world. Look at XDC pushing ahead with digital trade. That new system is coming. It's not a conspiracy theory, and you can see it happening in real time right now. And you know, now's the time you want to be invested in crypto. It's your one way to make a lot of money off of this. You know, this is the fourth industrial revolution. And even if you look at Ripple, where they're invested in, what Brad is going in as far as direction around carbon credits, he knows there's a ton of money there. Tokenization, a lot of money there. Stable coins is now emerging as the next big thing as well. Everything is happening at a very alarming rate, and yet so many people don't realize what's coming next. And you know, before the new financial system ever goes live, a much darker time will happen, and people need to prepare for that. You know, everybody always said there's going to be a massive black swan, a massive internet outage, a massive power outage. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I would definitely prepare for anything. And you know, I always like to make these videos to wake people up. I like to show them exactly what the New World Order agenda is. And you know, Agenda 2030. And when they talk about Build Back Better. Because people need to educate themselves now before it's too late later. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.